following voices are AI generated. We hope you enjoy the video.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta confess, these old zones aren't getting any easier. My 6 kids are almost here, and I think my speed is making my ankles hurt.
Tell me about it, Sonic. Even with my 2 tails helping me fly and joining you with the others going through shenanigans, I feel old too. As for our swan song, Sonic Advance 3, the levels feel classic.
Classic? More like ancient. Can you believe it's been 20 years since we cleaned up Eggman's mess? My fists feel achy too. Getting old is a part of life that happens. We may not look old, but we sure as hell feel it.
Has it really been 20 years? Is it true that we're old, Mr. Knuckles? Don't be silly, guys. We're timeless hedgehogs, a bunny rabbit, and echidna, and a fox!
Speak for yourselves. As for Amy, we better not jinx it. But hey, at least we sound like we did back in the day, right?
You know, for the last game using our Dreamcast/Adventure era voices.
Before the whole 4 kids deal thingy happened.
I think our longtime viewers and fans of the game should already know that Sonic Advance 3 was the final game in the Dreamcast/Adventure era, along with Sonic Heroes before the 4 kids replacements. Yup! We brought up the game multiple times because it's considered the best in the Advance trilogy, even though most fans of the franchise like the entire trilogy.
And the first Advance game was also the first Sonic game overall to be released on a Nintendo console because of Sega becoming third party in 2001 after the Dreamcast console flopped.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, this video isn't a review of the game. It's just a chat bringing up simple trivia, as well as some fun moments we'll bring up looking back at not only the game, but our time in the franchise before we were replaced in 2005.
Yeah, Miles, the game was so much fun. In fact, I miss seeing any version of myself being so involved in the main game. The other creams were just relegated to spin-offs and not one of the main characters.
Hey, you were a huge help in the second and third Advance games, my honey bunny. Don't forget, you saved us from a few sticky situations.
I may be a little old bunny rabbit, but I'm still tougher than I look.
Absolutely. Everyone loves your moveset and powers. I remember that you would sometimes beat me in flying races.
All this reminiscing is giving me a headache. I guess I jinxed it. I was wrong about us being literally timeless. I'm getting old to the point that I'm starting to see wrinkles around my eyes, and maybe even a gray hair or 2 in my quills. I guess being pregnant is taking a toll on my appearance.
Wrinkles and gray hair? Don't tell me that! Oh no, there's 1, maybe 2. See? This is what happens when you spend 20 years away from fighting Eggman. If we were never replaced, we'd stay young.
Relax, Sonic. You too, Amy. It's just a game. It's probably a metaphor for how time flies, I guess.
That's what I was about to say. 20 years is a long time ago, and to us it feels much quicker.
At least I won't complain about wrinkles and gray quills like a couple of hedgehogs. I don't mind my appearance changing.
Hey! You take that back!
As for the game, I almost forgot how cool the tag team mechanic was.
Yeah, gotta admit, giving me a little extra speed boost never hurt.
And who could forget the awesome combo moves? It was so much fun being part of the team, even though I wasn't quite there yet for the first game.
Hey, you were a key part of the team in Advance 2 and 3 Cream. Speaking of which, this whole trilogy feels a bit incomplete without the whole crew, you know?
The whole crew? Who do you mean by that, Knuckles?
Think about it. Shadow was already around by then. Wouldn't he have been a perfect fit?
Shadow is part of our overall team, and he was already revived by the time Sonic Heroes came out. Also, check out our video looking back on that game.
Shadow on the team in the Advance games? That would have been interesting.
He could have been like my rival, but black and red instead of blue.
Or maybe Rouge could join as well. That way she'd flirt with Shadow and Knuckles again.
Why am I not surprised when you brought that up about Rouge?
That could be 7 of us in total. I like that number because it's lucky. Anyways, didn't the 4 Kids crew have their anime Sonic X around the same time we left the game? I think they did a video looking back at it last year.
And I thought my voice constantly changed. My girlfriend sounds different every time she speaks, but anyway, yeah, they did. And that the 4 Kids version of me who, well, let's just say he has a big crush on a certain flower-wielding alien.
A flower-wielding alien? Isn't that Cosmos?
Of course, but that's 4 Kids' tales. As for me, you know, I've always been in love with you since the day we met when Advance 2 came out.
Oh God, I couldn't keep my eyes off you. Not even a long time ago. Hold me, Miles. Oh, look, Sonic, our best friend their feelings for each other to the fans.
Yeah, our best friends have loved each other for a very long time, as I have been to you. Now that we're reminiscing about the good old days, how about we make some new memories? Now that we're old, maybe it's about time we make more plans after our 6 babies are born.
Sonic, you don't mean...
Oh, I do mean, who wouldn't want a whole litter of little hedgehogs running around messing with Eggman when they're old enough? We gotta finish painting their bedroom and building the bassinets, Amy.
You are impossible, my darling Sonic. I think 1 or 2 of the babies rolled into a ball. That's unusual. I thought they'd kick again.
Hold on a minute. Is that the smell of romance in the air? Maybe even a double date brewing?
Double date? Knuckles, it's not like that.
Oh, I see how it is. If you lovebirds do decide to take the plunge and have the little hedgehogs zooming around, Uncle Knuckles will come around. Remember, those little ones will need a few echidnas to teach them the fine art of knuckle cracking.
Oh, Knuckles, you're impossible like Sonic. But thanks, I think.
Well, Knuckles, when Sonic and Amy's little ones are old enough to walk, I'm sure they'd love to learn about flying and machines from Uncle Tails.
And Uncle Knuckles can teach them how to be strong and brave, and I can show them how to bake treats and grow flowers in the garden.
All right, enough with the family planning for one night. Let's just continue enjoying this trip down memory lane, shall we? Speaking of memories, remember how the first 2 advanced games were all silent but deadly?
Silent? Deadly? What are you talking about, Sonic? Are they farts? I heard those are silent but deadly.
Ew, no. Sonic means the first 2 advance games, Knuckles. They didn't have any voice acting despite the Game Boy Advance being capable of using voice lines. I think they had limitations.
Tails is right. This little gem right here, this was the only one besides Sonic Battle that actually let us use our vocal talents.
Wow, I never even realized that. So, in the first 2 games, we just ran around saving the world in complete silence?
Pretty much. We were like SBO, ninjas of the night. Well, ninjas of the day, really, but you get the idea.
Guess I never noticed. Maybe that's why I kept yelling cool and all right.
So much has changed since then. Wouldn't it be amazing if they remastered the whole Advanced Trilogy for modern consoles? Like the PS5, Xbox Series X or S, or most likely the Nintendo Switch.
A remastered trilogy? That would be incredible! Imagine all the graphical improvements, maybe even online multiplayer.
Now you're talking, Tails! Speaking of comebacks, a lot of the classic games deserve some love these days. The Sonic franchise is bigger than ever thanks to those live-action movies, right?
Speaking of which, Sonic, when does movie Amy get her big debut on the silver screen? She'd look fantastic with some Hollywood special effects. I know she'll either be voiced by a celebrity or current/meta-era Amy.
Hey, I'm not Movie Sonic or a Paramount executive, but I'm sure your time will come, Amy. Who knows? Maybe Sega will hear our pleas for an Advanced Trilogy remaster someday.
What you got there, Cream? Is that some old recipe your mom sent you?
No, Mr. Knuckles, it's actually a very old photo back in the day, and it was our last photo during the events of our final overall game. Look at it.
Jesus Christ, no way, Cream! That was the photo we took when the player 100%'s the game after getting all the Chaos Emeralds with all 5 of us.
Look at us, we were so young. I was so thin. I'm used to seeing myself pregnant now, but wow! I was young and innocent, and surprisingly, I wasn't embracing Sonic like I usually did back then.
I was camera shy, yet cool in that photo. Nowadays, I always photobomb everyone's pictures and selfies.
It was at a time when I used to give out thumbs up along with 4Kids Sonic. Just after we left the games, I finally accepted Amy as my longtime loyal girlfriend, and the rest is history. For those of you who don't know, Amy and I had an unexpected private wedding at Glory Days earlier this January, so we couldn't have our 6 babies out of wedlock. It was a secret until we had our gender reveal party. Imagine if we went back in time and told our past selves that we'd be married and have a litter of 6 baby hedgehogs.
I think our past selves would flip their shit. Cheese would have had his mind blown back then more than now. If we take the picture now, Miles and I would hold hands, and so would Mr. Sonic and Miss Amy.
Wow, Cream the Rabbit just swore. That's a first.
What can I say? We're fucking 20 years older, right? We may look a bit like we did in the good times, but we're technically in our 30s, right, Amy? Ha ha ha, right, Cream! It's gonna take a while to get used to hearing you of all Sonic characters swearing because we're used to hearing everyone else with potty mouths.
That's my girlfriend, all right. She's a damn risk taker and can say whatever she wants as long as it's not offensive.
Cream is a tough cookie. She's overpowered compared to the rest of us. Maybe that's why the other Creams from the 4Kids era and current/meta era aren't involved as much, because she'd make their games easier and quicker to beat like in Sonic Forces, but in all of the games.
I guess that should wrap up the video. Sonic Advance 3 was our swan song, the final game we were in the franchise, along with Sonic Heroes. That's why we're at the beaches of Angel Island, because we walked into the sunset in that game right after that picture was shown.
Wait, I need to check up on Amy. How are you feeling, sweetheart? You look a little funny.
Oh, Sonic, just peachy. A little warm, maybe.
Amy, is it just me? Or are you glowing more than usual?
Glowing? Are you serious?
Now that you mention it, you do seem a bit more radiant. And maybe your feet are even more swollen. You're also sweaty.
Jesus Christ, what's happening?
I have a bad feeling about this. You guys are stressing me out. It's taking my pregnancy through the roof. Oh dear.
Whoa, your water broke. Multiple times, and it's a big one. Oh God, that means...
It's time! It's time to deliver the babies!
I knew it. I knew those little furballs would be born.
Wait for me, Miles. I need to get our medical supplies.
Let's go, Amy. We gotta go to the delivery room pronto. Let me carry you, and we'll go at Sonic speed.
Oh God! The babies are kicking harder than ever, and slow down, darling. I'm gonna get sick.
Knuckles, Tails, Shadow, and Rouge! We gotta deliver 6 little packages!
I'm on it, Tails. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We went from looking back at our final game to preparing for the arrival of the 6 baby hedgehogs. We'll get back to you.
To be continued.
Dear Lord, they're very hungry. Sonic, one looks just like Amy.
Cream, they need the chili dog flavored milk.
They sure look like their parents, except 2 of them are purple.
They're so adorable, but they're very loud criers.
Sonic, I don't feel so good.